Hard to believe after 94 years, Thorndike Mills is laying down the rugs and closing up shop.
Will go out of business at the end of the year.
The family-owned business in Palmer has been serving the Western Mass community for decades, providing uniquely handcrafted rugs.
Mitch Garabedian, company president.
I'm Ed Garabedian. I'm vice president, Thorndike Mills.
Anna Garabedian. I'm the youngest of the Garabedian children, and I'm the office manager.
Thorndike Mills was started by my father, Gary Garabedian. He immigrated from Armenia. And as a child, his father was in textiles in Turkey, Van, Turkey. And he learned how to make rugs on a hand loom. And he took that knowledge when he came to this country and started an operation in a basement in Boston. He did that for over 10, 15 years until the Depression. And after the Depression, he came to Palmer and set up his machinery in a mill in Thorndike. That's where the name came from, Thorndike Mills, and started a larger operation manufacturing rag rugs as well as braided rugs.
He grew this business from being a youngster with very little education. So I think that says a lot for this family.
It's just amazing how my father just started this from knowing nothing, not the language, not having an education, and then meeting my mom and how the two of them worked together and built such a beautiful business. My mom learned the computer. It was amazing. She'd do the payroll, she would do order entry, and she did it. She didn't have any schooling on that, and she did a marvelous job. They really should be commended for what they've done and how they sacrificed their lives for their children.
We all grew up in the business, per se. It was just a natural thing for us to be involved and help grow the business. My father believed that in order to be successful, you had to learn any business from the bottom up. You had to get your fingernails dirty and understand how a product was made. So when it came time to actually join the business, we understood how to make the product. He invented certain machines in here to make that task easier. And that's the root of success. We had manufacturing division, and we had a carpet retail division. And in the carpet retail division, we were very fortunate that we sold some very major accounts. One was Friendly Ice Cream, which we installed all their flooring in the entire Northeast. And that was a very large project. It lasted over 30 years. On the manufacturing side, we sold Ethan Allen for years. They sold our best product. We sold J.C. Penney, selling everything that he could possibly make on a hand loom. They asked him if he could manufacture a braided rug, and he told them that he certainly could, although he said to himself he really didn't know what a braided rug was. We sold Sears. We sold just about every major department store when they had large carpet departments. And those companies, because of their volume, brought Thorndike Mills out of the Depression and into the braided rug business through the quality of the product that he made. Thorndike Mills became an outstanding name in the industry. Fabrics in the home furnishing trades are the Bible of what's going to be selling in the coming year. So whenever we would design a product, it would be colors that were going to be the most popular colors for the coming year. Over here, this way. What we're known for is called a cloth braid. Cloth braid is the closest to handmade that you can make by machine. All the cloth is coating material, suiting and coating material. And what we do is we buy bolts of cloth. We cut it up into 1.5 inch strips. It's braided solid. There's no core, no filler on the inside. This is all solid wool material. This is what made Thorndike Mills. This is what we're known for, is this rug. And there's nobody else in the country, or for that matter, even from overseas, that makes a product as close to handmade as this one. So Thorndike Mills, if you go to California, they will talk about this rug. If you go down to Florida, they'll talk about this stuff. Nationwide, we're known to make the best cloth braid. Now, what does our competition make? Our competition makes yarn braids. Yarn braids is exactly what it sounds like. It starts in yarn form, and then it's braided over a filler. It could be cotton, it could be synthetic, but there's a core on the inside. Compared to the wool, this is solid. This has a filler. All the yarn braids, no matter who makes them, have some type of a core on the inside. Why make two different products? Is because this product here is half the price of a wool cloth braid. So marketing wise, it's very easier to sell a yarn braid than a cloth braid because of the retail cost. Now there's different type of yarn braids. This one is made out of polypropylene. Polypropylene is the same fiber that's used on indoor-outdoor carpet. Then you have what's called chenille. Chenille is a very soft yarn. It's nice for bedrooms and so forth because what it is it's an acrylic fiber which is sheared, it's cut. So you get a very soft feel underfoot. It's just two different products. Then you can get yarn braid with wools. You can get it with acrylics, polypropylene, or nylon. Different fibers. But it's in all cases, it's half the price or even less than half than the cloth braids. What Thorndike Mills was also known for is we make custom sizes, custom shapes. Custom shapes are like octagon, elongated octagon, square, rectangular. We make all different type of shapes. This, for instance, is a rectangular. Come on. This is the sad part, empty shelves. This is what we're down to nothing. These are air tables. Air tables is very similar to a hockey table, except we invented it before the hockey table. This is where your grandfather was innovative. When he built this mill, he had these tables built. And these tables make the rug float on the table so that when you make the rugs, you can keep it nice and flat. And there's no weight to the rug whatsoever. All of the braids are sewn with a very high quality, very strong polyester cotton shoe thread. And every stitch that's made makes a knot. So when the rug is sewn, it's called a lock stitch, where on each zigzag it makes a knot. So if one stitch breaks, it doesn't affect the whole rug. I said we were known for the cloth braids. Cloth braids come in bolts like this. They're 70-yard bolts, 60 inches wide. They go on this machine. And there's a blade where we set the width of the cut, and it cuts the whole bolt into whatever width that we want. So this was the core of our production because cloth braids was one of our main production items. You can see how it's cut all the way through. Also, we had our cloth made for us. You can see the design in the cloth where it changes color. And that way, when the cloth is folded and it goes into the braiding, the colors change automatically without any cuts in the material. After the cloth is cut, it comes to these machines where the machine has a folder on it and it folds the material and sews it down. This is all done before it's actually braided. That way the cloth doesn't ravel. It's all wool material cut on those cutters to different width depending on what rug it's going in. This happens to be 1.5 inches wide. And then once it's folded and sewn down, there's no edge ravel. So once it's put into the braid, it lasts forever. You can see the different colors. That's the way the cloth is folded, the way the cloth is woven. So it's all one piece. Then it comes over to the braiders. These machines you can't buy. We built all of these machines make our product. You have very large spools where we wind the cloth onto, which is on a winder like this. You can see again all the colors that are woven into the spool. So when it goes on the braiders, the design is already pre-established. And then it'll go on these machines. These spools will run about an hour, 25 minutes before they have to change or put a new spool on. But again, this is where Thorndike Mills designed these machines, had them made, and there's no one else in the country. Right now, we have 3 or 4 different companies that are looking at these machines and bidding on them because you can't buy them. You have to have them manufactured. What you don't see back here, all the machines have already been sold. There was machines here that took yarn and actually made a strip like this. It's a simulated cloth, it's called. They were narrow width weaving machines, and it made the strip to go into the braid. Now, to braid the yarn, you don't have the big spool like you had for the cloth. They're smaller spools because you can get quite a bit of material on a small spool. And these are put on these small braiders, which is a miniature version of the large jumbo braiders. But what's the difference is that these have a filler that go up underneath and into the braid, and that way you use less material. The filler gives the rug the body. We hand inspect everything, which isn't done anymore these days. Everything is hand inspected.
I've learned a lot. Sometimes going to school you can learn, but when you're on hands working, you do grow and you learn a lot. It's not easy to close a family business that's 95 years old. I'll miss coming in here and I'll miss my job. I'll miss being in this family life of working together. It's going to be a very hard adjustment, very hard. We've made a lot of people happy, and we've created a beautiful product. It's a piece of history, a piece of our heritage, our culture, our growth in this family. Thorndike Mills is very special and very meaningful in my heart. I grew up here. I came and was part of it since I was born.
Being involved every day, customers that we become friends with, suppliers that we become valued, and a lot of good memories from it. I think I've been fortunate for the most part working with my siblings and my own children who have come into the business. The community showed us when we announced our retirement, and the support we got from them. It was enormous, beyond expectation.
My favorite memory, I guess, I have to say, is our help. We never had a large turnover of help in here. We had a large a large number of Polish ladies that were excellent with their hands as far as being able to make a product, to sew a product. They took pride in what they made, and they put their name on everything that they sewed. To this day, the name of the person who has put a rug together, sewn together, puts their name on the rug. And that's because of pride. Our average employee here is 30 plus years. You have to be pretty proud of that. And it's probably one of the hardest things to accept. These people have taken so much pride in what they've made. I guess that's probably the high of what I want to remember this place by. Running the business is a team. And if you understand that, you could be very successful. Thorndike Mills means to me is my whole life. I was born into it. I was raised in it. My entire adult life has been in it. My children worked in it. My nieces have worked in it. It's basically our entire history. It's been exciting. It's been a fulfillment of our desire to keep this place in operation. Unfortunately, there's a point in time in your life when you have to say enough. And I guess this is it.